Director for the 3D Business Launch Model, and Gene Irwin. In this video, we are going to compare what experts believe are necessary to create, develop, and operate your own home business. Then you will hear from Gene Irwin and what actions he would recommend in most cases. The experts we are referring to are the Small Business Administration or SBA, Constant Contact, Shopify, NerdWallet, and finally, Forbes. Keep in mind that the companies or business referenced retains the copyrights to their own material and are simply mentioned here for reference purposes. You are advised to look at each of these expert ideas and consider those which best suit you and your proposed business. We want to first give you the expert opinions of what goes into starting your first new business, and then we'll look at those areas which Gene thinks may have a greater immediate impact of what needs to be done, either in contrast or support of their opinions. Keep in mind, some businesses require you to have a specific use license, such as a hairstylist, selling securities, or becoming a real estate agent, or an agent selling insurance, all of which can easily be done out of your home. Each of the examples just explained require the upfront cost of getting your license in both time and money for certain activities in business before you can legally talk to prospective clients. As such, you must be properly licensed in your state if required. But your new business may require none of those things, which can take a lot of time and money to acquire. Let's take a look at what needs to go into your planning stages, and then look at those areas where we can help you start to generate revenue as soon as possible as your primary goal. We are excited that you are with us today. Now, here is Gene Irwin, founder of the 3D Business Launch Model.
Thanks, Jessica. This is Gene Irwin, the founder of the 3D Business Launch Model. Here today, we're going to talk about the SBA business plan versus what I recommend Gene Irwin's action plan. Let's take a look at the differences so you can see how to earn and develop your income faster in your home-based business using some action plans. We'll compare that information with what the experts say in the SBA business plan. The purpose of this comparison of the SBA business plan approach versus Gene Irwin's action plan is to show the minimal amount of planning that goes into developing your own home-based business to generate income as quickly as possible. The majority of people who develop a business plan for the SBA or Small Business Administration do so to satisfy their 7-step process in order to attempt to qualify for a bank-issued, SBA-supported business loan. I'll discuss the merits of the SBA 7A loan process at a different time, but SBA's approval rate for startup loans is less than 30%. My concern is to assist my clients in generating cash flow as soon as possible upon applying the techniques taught to them in my 72-hour mini course, which is available only through an online program from the 3D Business Launch Model. You can start by downloading your free guide in a link that's shown on the screen at this time. This slide shows you the 3D Business Launch Model introduces to you what the experts' opinions of what goes into your first new business. We'll look at those areas first, which I think may have a greater impact on what needs to be done. Here's what the experts say you need to do before starting your own business, and this is from the Small Business Administration. They have 10 steps. Number 1, conduct market research. Number 2, write your business plan. Number 3, fund your business. Number 4, pick your business location. Number 5, choose a business structure. Number 6, choose your business name. And number 7, register your business. Number 8, get federal and state tax IDs. And number 9, apply for business licenses and permits. And finally, number 10, open a business bank account. We will take a look at each of these areas one by one and then wrap up with a few comments of my own. Number 1, conduct market research. The SBA's market research and competitive analysis is quite thorough. It's designed to ensure that a potential loan applicant has considered the size of the market and the threat by competition. They look at demand from the market, its size, location of customers, and competition and market saturation. They suggest that you use existing sources if you can find someone to talk to you, but as they said, they won't be specific to your actual prospective client. Here's my recommendation, Gene Irwin's action plan. I like the recent Iron Man's plan of attack to Captain America. His plan? Attack. My approach is simpler and quick. It is outlined in the following video, which explains how to evaluate not only your market size, but also your competitive analysis. You will know in a few hours if your market exists, is underserved, and will support your business model for years to come. In 2014, I created for my little office at home a business plan of serving clients in the health support industry and grew it to over $7 million a year in less than 6 years. There were 3 other offices in the area with the same opportunity, listen carefully, with the exact same product line that I had. In one 10-week period, I outperformed over 100 sales advisors at a production rate of over 3 to 1. Perhaps I'm worth listening to. The 3D Business Launch Model, How Large is Your Market? There's a link there for that particular video. The SBA's business plan outline is shown above by the 10 steps we are going to go through now in detail. In addition to these 10 steps, the business plan structure is enormous and quite detailed. Remember, its purpose is to secure a loan from a bank supported by the SBA. Gene Irwin's action plan, I totally agree that a business plan is a necessary tool for business development. But if you spend 2 or 3 weeks or more trying to create a business plan, especially if you have a job and some other capacity, your actual business idea will quickly die. Why is that? Because you're not committed to its successful outcome yet. Their prospective research alone is very time-consuming, and the response you get back from the SBA is going to be 2 or 3 months down the road. Can you wait that long? I want you to review How Large is Your Market. See the video on the prior page or this link here. My approach, after you've confirmed that the market is viable, is to attack the market as soon as possible. I instruct my clients to create a limited business plan initially, to go through the first week of sales meetings with your product/service line, and then backfill the business plan to project the next growth steps. This can best be served if your idea is to provide sales and service in a known industry, which most likely will have some openings for you in both sales and service with a base salary plus commission compensation. This is an ideal way to learn how the industry works, its products, services, and margins, and B, learn how to sell this type of product and or service without the stress of having to sell to take care of the bills at home. Remember, without sales, you don't have a business, you have an expensive hobby. Number 3, fund your business. SBA says it costs money to start a business. Funding your business is one of the first and most important financial choices most business owners make. How you choose to fund your business could affect how you structure and run your business. They give you several ideas. Determine how much funding you will need. Fund your business yourself with self-funding. Get venture capital from investors. Use crowdfunding to fund your business. Get a small business loan. Use Lender Match to find lenders who offer SBA guaranteed loans, and then go through the SBA investment program. SBA recommends you determine how much funding you'll need. There are common startup costs that you're likely to have no matter what. Look at the following list and make sure to add any other expenses that are unique to your business. Again, the whole process from the SBA point of view is to fill out your application for a guaranteed loan that you can take to a bank and perhaps, possibly, get a loan from the bank. Look at the things that are on this list and how many of those apply to your home-based business you're trying to create. Office space, equipment and supplies, communications, utilities, licenses, insurance, lawyers and accountants, inventory, employee salaries, advertising and marketing, market research, printed marketing materials, and making a website. Those are a lot of things that most brick and mortar businesses have to go through if they want to try and build a business. Here's Gene Irwin's action plan, which assumes that you want to create a home-based business. For office space, minimal office space is needed for any home-based business. A corner of a shop or garage will suffice. Equipment and supplies. Usually, unless your product or service requires manufacturing, equipment and supplies can be what we call GIT or just-in-time delivery. In other words, after your client pays you 50% or more, so you can go out and buy that equipment or that product and deliver it to them. For communications, almost all new home-based businesses can be created with just one additional residential landline or cell. Utilities. Utilities in a home-based business can be absorbed within the already present utility-supported home. Licenses. Licenses and permits are most likely required in all but a few of home-based businesses. Insurance. Insurance is usually not required initially unless you have substantial exposure due to your type of business or liability. Lawyers and accountants. Lawyers and accountants can be prorated after your business begins to have serious cash flow. Usually this process is outsourced, meaning it's done by third-party people outside of your business. Inventory. In my opinion, inventory is best described as unnecessary carrying costs in this day and age of instant delivery, but there exceptions exist. Employee salaries. The vast majority of my clients in a home-based business do not have employees with salaries. If you decide to have someone help you, make them 1099 subcontractors and learn the process and the requirements necessary for a 1099 self-employed contractor. Advertising and marketing. 50% of all advertising is wasted. The problem is, nobody agrees on which 50%. My recommendation is to use word of mouth and referrals to get your business started at home. Market research. Market research should have already been done prior to any type of funding. Do it yourself, or we'll show you how to do it. Printed marketing materials. Printed marketing materials is an expense best left to your manufacturing sources due to their high cost and low return. Making a website. Although a website is a critical portion of all businesses, most do it wrong. We recommend that you use it to focus on lead generation and lead generation only. Let me ask you a question. How many things can you sell over the phone? And the answer is none, because you can't shove the product through the phone line. You physically have to ship it to them, or you have to physically deliver it to them. The same thing with a website. People usually don't buy from a website unless you're ordering a meal from that night that you go pick up or have it delivered. In spite of all the hype about SBA and angel investors or venture capital, 3 largest funding sources for startups are, and this is about 80% of startups, founder uses savings and personal assets, B, friends and family, C, founder secures private loans. Reminder, the SBA takes more than 2 months to respond to a loan support request, and then only recommends less than 30% of those requests after you spend at least 2 months or more answering their questions and application. More than 70% of all startups are funded by the owner and the founder. That person is you. Pick your business location. The SBA wants to have a brick and mortar location, or perhaps a location inside of a mall where it's a kiosk or some type of business. So the structure of the building is already established for you. You just need to determine what your lease and rent prices are, and then try and hope that some of the traffic that are coming to the mall actually turn into your business and buy something for you. There's a reason why most malls are going out of business. I wonder what that is. So what I've done here is to explain to you about your business location at home. You'll be surprised to learn that there are a lot of businesses who started in their garage or in their home that now are worldwide phenomena. Here they are. The vast majority of contractors and subcontractors work from their home or garage. Nearly 40% of all businesses in the United States comes from small business, of which nearly all of them started from their home. It's convenient, low overhead, and can be done while bootstrapping your business to a full-time effort. Here are just a few of the companies started at home. Amazon was initially an online bookstore. They started in 1994. The value now is over $911 billion. Spanx, which is a specialty line of clothes, $5,000 invested from an apartment in 1998, is now worth $1.1 billion. Minecraft, started in 2009, it's worth $2.5 billion. Google, in a dorm room and then a garage in 1998, is worth $1.154 billion. That means $1.1 trillion. Apple, started in 1976, Steve Jobs, in a garage in California, $2.08 trillion. Under Armour, 1999, $5 billion. Craigslist, 1995, $1 billion. Hewlett Packard, back in 1939, $103 billion. Microsoft, 1975, Mr. Gates and Company, $1.6 trillion. Disney, which his brothers Roy and Walt started Disney back in 1923, is worth $173 billion. So don't be ashamed, and don't worry about starting your business in your garage or your home or some bedroom in your home that you're going to turn into an office, because look at all these companies that are billion-dollar companies and more who all started in their home. It's a reason why I tell you that a home-based business can be exciting to grow and to expand beyond your wildest expectations. So choose a business structure. Forbes has a very detailed discussion concerning what type of business structure to use. Here's a link here to you which talks about the Forbes.com website and the best fit for your company. In most cases, Gene Irwin would recommend starting the first couple of weeks as a sole proprietorship. You can convert to an LLC if that's of interest to you later, when you know that you have a product or service which is gaining traction and a solid customer base. Choose your business name. Well, I've said it many times in the past, is that the name of your business must immediately inform the prospect of what it is you represent. Here are some well-known brands that illustrate this technique. Pizza Hut makes pizzas. Microsoft, operating software for microcomputers. Coca-Cola, derivative of the initial ingredient. Under Armour, which is underwear clothes. Craigslist, originally classified listings of items for sale. Roto-Rooter, originally cuts roots out of septic lines. Toys R Us, sells toys. The model changed from standalone business to virtual sales. E-Trade, electronic trading of stocks. Great Clips, hair cutting service. AT&T, I bet you didn't know its full name. American Telephone and Telegraph Company. Number 7, register your business. In most cases, as a sole proprietor selling a service, there is usually no sales tax associated with that transaction, unless it's coupled with delivering and installing a product, i.e. such as auto repair. Consultants who sell their advice typically are not given a sales tax license, nor are they required to collect sales tax for their city or state. They may or may not require licenses depending on what it is that they're selling. If the sale is considered a professional service, such as a doctor, a PA, insurance, or financial advice, then that person in business will need licensures from the state to legally operate. In most cases, if there are personal licenses needed as shown above, there is also another entity that also manages the regulations concerning the license. The MD is controlled by the State Board of Health. Attorneys are managed by the American Bar Association. Insurance licenses by the State Department of Insurance, and financial experts are controlled by FINRA and SEC and state licensing boards. Number 8, get federal and state tax IDs. A sole proprietor uses his or her personal Social Security number, whereas an LLC or corporation will be issued a state and a federal tax identification number, which works in similar fashion as your Social Security number. It identifies your business entity. If you form an LLC or a corporation, you will need both state and federal ID numbers. Number 9, apply for licenses and permits. See my comments for number 7 and number 8. Finally, number 10, open a business bank account. Now, this is the SBA's approach. You notice that open a business bank account is way beyond the initial start of your evaluation for a business loan. In my humble opinion, this SBA item number 10, open a business bank account, is late in coming. Once you know what your market size and possibilities are, and you have either formed a DBA or doing business as with the Secretary of State, an LLC, or a type of corporation, you should take this paperwork to your bank and set up a separate checking account immediately. Many of the prior items on the SBA list will require some type of cost, and there's no reason why those costs should come out of your personal checking account, when your business account can take care of those costs immediately. Now that you've seen what the SBA's approach is, they have great resources for you to consider, but remember, they are a branch of the government which has bureaucratic oversight. This means they write hundreds of pages to explain what they want from you when applying for any type of government support. It's quite exhausting. The purpose of this comparison of the SBA business plan approach versus Gene Irwin's action plan is to show the minimum amount of planning that goes into developing your own home-based business to generate income for you as quickly as possible. My concern is to assist my clients in generating cash flow as soon as possible upon applying the techniques taught to them in my 72-hour mini course, which is available only through an online program from the 3D Business Launch Model. You can start here by downloading your ultimate guide to your own home-based business. This is Gene Irwin, the founder of the 3D Business Launch Model. We look forward to helping you in any way that we can. Please get a hold of us. You can contact us at 1-800-750-8767, or you can write to us directly at gene@geneirwin.com. We look forward to hearing from you, and we expect you to do great things with your own home-based business.